Hello everyone, this is Blue Monster Art here again, and today I will be doing Icarus, which is a collage painting by Henri Matisse, and I'm going to do a little presentation on him but first, so if you don't want to stick around for that, please just skip ahead to the actual painting section. Henri Matisse was a French artist. He was trained to be a lawyer originally, and he is more famous for his collages, but he also did wall murals, invented an art movement, and made stained glass windows as well as painting, which I will look more into this presentation. He was born in 1869 and died on the 3rd of November 1954. When he was young, he got ill and decided to start drawing whilst he was confined to his home, and he found out that he really loved it. The picture on the right is called The Snail, and it is bits of painted gouache paper pasted and stuck onto a piece of card. The reason that it is called The Snail is because it has a small snail at the top of it, which you can see just here. When he was young, he formed a group of young artists called the Fauvism, who created a short-lived art movement of 10 years called Fauvism. They used lots of bright colours, and they were very famous at their time, as they were new. These are two examples of Fauvist paintings. The left is done by one of Henri Matisse's friends, and this is Henri Matisse himself, drawn by one of his friends. And on the right, this is done by Henri Matisse, and you've probably seen this one before. And I really like this piece because of all the bright colours in it, and it's just really fun and playful. Here we have two paintings, one of which is realistic with light and shade, and the other is done by Matisse, and is bold, bright, and has no perspective, no light and dark, and makes use of simple shapes and colours. So you can see we've got some bright, bold lines over here, we've got some patterns, and we've got no perspective, so this table is just flat, unlike this one, which is more like an ellipsis. Now these two paintings here are famous, and I showed the one on the left earlier, and this one's done by Henri Matisse, and this one is done by Manet. This is a woman in a hat, and this is Bertha Morisot with a bouquet of violets. Sorry if I said that name wrong. And these are two just 10 years apart, which I think shows really well how much the art world has changed during that time, short period. And they're both pretty much the same picture. If you think about it, they've both got hats, both women wearing elaborate clothing, and no very showy backgrounds. As Matisse got older and his health became worse, he was unable to paint in his studio anymore, so he began to collage and make abstract paintings using just coloured paper. He painted all of the coloured papers himself with gouache paints, so he didn't just get pieces from the store like you would nowadays, and he called this painting with scissors. Now, you may not know this, but as well as being an artist, he also designed some stained glass windows. These are a few of his stained glass windows here, and that's him there, but he designed this one here, and this is a cut and pasted collage, but this turned to be a stained glass window. Yeah. In the later years of Matisse's life, he found that his health was getting worse and he was not able to walk. So whilst being confined to his bed, he began to paint with a stick and a pencil attached to the end of it. And these are two pictures of him here, one of which painting in his bed onto the wall next to him, and the other he is standing in his studio very far away from his canvas and is drawing what looks like a priest holding a Bible. This is an image of Matisse preparing a large mural before he was confined to his wheelchair. As you can see, he's using the same pencil attached to the end of a long stick method. This is one of Matisse's more famous painted pieces of art. It is called The Dance, and it was made in 1910, made specifically for a wall in someone's house. 5 people dancing around in a circle of a hillside in what looks like the night, and it was made to fit a specific wall in a Russian man's house. I cannot actually find out who this man was though, so if you have any idea of who he was, I would love to know that so I could add it to my notes. This is Henri Matisse's horse, and it was painted in 1947. As you can see, you've got some very organic shapes here with the lots of wiggly lines, and then you've got some more sharp ones here, like these diamonds. This is the painting which I will be painting today with scissors, and it is Icarus. Now, if you're not familiar of the story of Icarus, Icarus is someone who got wings and flew too close to the sun, and his wings fell off, and he fell to the ground. And this is what inspired Matisse to make this image. So without further ado, I'm just going to go straight ahead and draw, or paint with scissors, Icarus falling from the heavens. For this session, if you wish to follow along, I will be using A4 or A3 coloured paper. I will be using yellow, blue and red. I will also be using some gouache and acrylic paints.
My first step was to glue down my base colour, in this case blue, which acted like a background for the image. I then used some black card, which I do not believe I mentioned in the material list at the beginning, to make Icarus himself, and I turned the paper instead of the scissors when I cut him out. Matisse would usually just go straight into the scissors, but I wanted to get mine as realistic as possible, so I used pencil first. So I suggest you either rub out the lines or just flip over the piece of card. I then moved on to some yellow paper to cut out some stars with many different shapes, and then decided to use some more of that yellow to make some wings. I wanted to go for some organic shapes and some sharp edges for like a differentiating in the abstract. Then created a smaller Icarus for Icarus's father, and then some angled lines to show Icarus falling. One thing I noticed about this piece is the organic and the straight edges that are included in this piece, which I think makes a very interesting abstract composition. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.